Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be continuing with my series of Doctor era panel discussions. And today I have the same people who were with me last time. I've got Joey Morgan.
Hello!
Jacob Licklider.
I totally forgot about this, so this is going to be fun.
And the marvelous Jesus, aka Lord Slug.
I'm twisting my nibble while saying this.
Lovely.
I totally believe that.
It actually happens. I started off just by scratching it, and then I thought I'd give it a good twist.
Very
Shall
saucy
we get down to
indeed.
business?
Very, very saucy. Anyway, so I think we're just gonna jump right in and talk about the Doctor himself, Patrick Troughton, the second
Did you even
Doctor.
say what this video was, Brian?
Oh, I did.
Do you have ears over in America, Joey?
Well,
Because we do, and I heard him.
Look, all Brian said was, like, we're going to continue our the Doctor panel discussion video.
Well, I mean, the thumbnail and the title of the video kind of give it away, Joey.
You
Yeah,
need a
but
proper
yeah,
intro, though, Brian.
Nah, Brian. What Joey does is he just closes his eyes and just picks on random videos and averts his eyes from the title, just so it's a complete surprise when he puts it on.
Exactly. I need to know, like, what I'm listening to.
Yeah, what about blind people, Brian? Think about the blind people.
I should
All
know
right,
I'm
then
not
allow
blind.
me to fix my error. We are going to be talking about the second Doctor era. Okay, there we go.
And now
Very
you're
good, Brian.
Who
Anyway.
plays the second Doctor?
Okay, if you don't know who plays the second Doctor, Dylan, this is not the video for you.
From what years did the Patrick Troughton era go? You need to give us this information. I mean,
66 to 69, it's obvious.
there's a reason why at the beginning of each Doctor Who DVDs it says to select audio navigation, press enter now, because Doctor Who is all about blind people inclusion.
Dylan, it doesn't say that in America. That doesn't happen in the US.
Well, that's because you don't care about blind
Doctor Who's-
people. You,
Doctor
I know, I'm
Who's
half
blind
blind. No one
presentation.
cares about me.
Anyway, let's
I
get...
care about you, Jacob.
I said
love you.
anyway, let's get
I
started.
want to marry you.
Patrick Troughton,
no
the
thanks.
second Doctor. What do we think of him? Dylan, since you love Patrick Troughton most, you go ahead.
I don't know if I can really go on. I mean, I've just been rejected from marriage.
Are we just getting silence?
But I will say I do love Patrick Troughton. I would offer to marry him, but he's dead.
Wow. What about his Doctor as a whole character?
He plays a very good Doctor. It changes a bit as it goes along, as he kind of, bit figgy in the beginning. It's a bit more exaggerated to start with, and then he kind of tones it down as it comes along. And I think by the end, he's kind of got the performance pitch perfect. But it's good from the start because he's a brilliant actor, brilliant character actor.
I'd agree with that.
Yeah.
Patrick Troughton's really great at portraying different characters. Like,
And I
there's
also
no
enjoy the
character
fact
that
that
Patrick Troughton portrays that feels the same as one of his other ones.
I think Troughton is just a phenomenal actor. I think he took the character of the Doctor in a great direction. His balance of comedy while representing the dire nature of everything that he had to do as the Doctor was very strong. I thought that while he wasn't one of the Doctors with more of a character arc, you could certainly see his character change more, especially after his first regeneration. You see him become a bit more stable as he goes along after his first season. And also, Troughton, what I respect about his Doctor a lot is that he doesn't always know what to do. And I think that's a quality that I find I like more about his Doctor compared to other Doctors, where
I've got to agree with Joey a lot there, because that's a very good point you raised. I always prefer it when the Doctors are quite flawed, whereas you don't find that very often when you go along to further on Doctors. But definitely with the early Doctors, you get a lot of very flawed portrayals, and I like that. And it's a shame it kind of went away at about circa the Williams era, where the Doctor just kind of became he will
Tom
always
Baker.
Yeah, exactly. It kind of started with Tom Baker, and it's just got even worse with New Who.
Okay.
I mean, I also argue that Troughton isn't even that much of a flawed Doctor. He's just not. It's not even really a flaw. It's just he's not this
Overpowered.
all-knowing
He's not overpowered.
God. He is a cosmic hobo bumbling through the universe with his boyfriend and.
Oh, no, we're not canonizing that, Jacob.
Listen, someone had to make a two Jamie joke at least once.
Well, I mean,
Is it just me,
somebody-
Jamie, or is it getting rather hot in here?
Jamie, that is rather a large one you've got up to there. Ooh, aye, Doctor. Any lassies seen this in Scotland?
Oh, aye. Oh, man.
All right then.
Yeah.
So,
We gonna move on to Ben and Polly now?
yeah, sure.
Let's move on to Ben and Polly. Because
Do we have to? I don't like Ben.
everything you said
Oh,
about
I know.
Troughton, I agree with. So
What's so bad about them, Jake? In fact, you go first.
I
Jake.
just-
I know this is yours, but I just want to know.
Well, I don't. It's not like I don't dislike them. I just find them the weakest of his companions because
I'll agree with that.
I mean,
Oh,
I
yeah,
really
sure,
like
sure.
Polly. Polly is great, and Annika Wills is probably one of the best actresses, like just of the second Doctor, and it's really good that we have them to carry through.
Oh my
this
God.
the whole first regeneration.
Whenever I think of Polly, I think of that time that I was
Oh,
made
no.
to read.
You don't talk. No, don't mention it. It's in the past now. Forget.
I genuinely don't know what you two are talking about.
It was a very poorly written fan fiction of a erotic nature, which
Oh,
involved
dear.
Ben, Polly, and Jamie.
How do you go for so long?
So, all right, I'm gonna reel this back in. Ben and Polly. Polly's a solid character. Ben, not so much, but I do appreciate the fact that Ben is a bit more of a hothead, and he has like more of a reckless side to him, which you don't see in a lot of male companions in Doctor Who. They're usually like really buddy with the Doctor, whereas Ben is throughout his whole time traveling with the Doctor doesn't really fully trust him.
I think Ben's just a jackass.
He is, but he's a lovable jackass.
Lovable jackass, but he's just
I
a
like
jackass.
sort of like the class dynamic between the two. You have Polly, who's very upper class, and Ben, who's just sort of a sailor.
Yeah, he calls her Duchess. Calls her Duchess. Sorry.
Do me a
Sorry.
favour.
I think that's what I really like about
That is
Ben.
a terrible Cockney impression.
Ben really only shines in like two stories in the Troughton era.
Thank you for
Power
letting
of
me
the
know,
Daleks.
Dylan. Now I will never write
And the
a
Macra
story
Terror.
with Ben and Polly.
He's great in the Macra. I don't know. I think that's what I really like about Ben and Polly and how different they are. Like you've had like other companion duos before with Ian and Barbara, but they were like always, like they were always with each other. They never really fought. But Ben and Polly, they're so different. They argue a lot, and I think
Also, the Macra Terror is just a great story in general, and
Oh,
more
yeah,
people need to
definitely.
watch it.
I love the Macra Terror. Yeah.
Yeah, Macra Terror is beautiful. That's one that really would benefit from being found.
Okay, Macra
Although,
Terror.
wait. Oh, never mind. I was just going to give my Ben and Polly, but you go first. Sure.
Macra Terror is the essential Ben and Polly ship episode, if you ask me, because Polly just gets so worried about Ben.
Yeah, but you could be worried about friends, Brian.
You
I
could be,
love-
but
I love how
Jamie and the
And
Doctor
that's-
are just like, Ben, fuck it.
Well, that's because Jamie has no clue what's going on, and the Doctor's just mad.
Yep.
But anyway, what I'd say about Ben and Polly is, while they may not be the most exciting characters in all of Doctor Who, I really enjoy them every time they're there, because they're very, very much real people, in the way that a lot of companions, there's lots of great companions, but a lot of them are quite zany, whereas these are just two very clearly real people, and I like that. It's nice for a change,
I can agree with that. I do definitely think they are better in Big Finish, though.
yeah,
I'm
I don't know.
not really
I've
sure.
never liked them on TV.
I like them on TV.
I don't know.
I don't think
I don't
any.
know.
They're
Does
not
anyone know
there
if
by
Elliot
no
Chapman
means
was
my favorite
getting good at
companions,
playing Ben
but-
on Big Finish? Because I haven't listened to any. Of his
Elliot
stories
Chapman's
yet.
great.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's just that I don't think any of the audios have been better for Ben and Polly than the Macra Terror so far. I haven't heard the new ones.
I'll
though,
agree with
so-
that, but as a whole run, the Big Finish audios for Ben and Polly are better than Season 4.
Oh, season 4 is fantastic, Brian.
Season 4,
Great.
for the most part, is great. Yeah, there's only really one misstep. And
Season-
we all know what-
But season 4 is like one of my favorite seasons of Doctor Who. I don't know.
Not
we all
really.
know what that is, and
I
that
mean,
one's even
right,
fun
Brian,
to watch.
Brian.
Yes.
Which big finish is better than Power of the Daleks, the Macra Terror, and Evil of the Daleks? Then?
Well, Ben and Polly aren't that great in Power of the Daleks.
Yeah,
What?
they are.
They're fantastic. They're part of the appeal that I have towards Power of the Daleks.
Ooh, shit. I've kind of fucked myself over with this one, haven't I?
You did.
Very much.
You about get 2 words, Brian.
3 way.
No, Jacob, you're not invited to this orgy.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
sounds...
if Dylan is okay with Dodo, I'm allowed to think that Ben and Polly
don't
aren't good in Power of the Daleks.
That opinion on him is wrong.
But getting pissed about Dodo and getting pissed about Ben and Polly are 2 completely different things.
Well, saying that Ben and Polly aren't good in Power of the Daleks is much more controversial than saying you don't hate Dodo. Surely, am I the only person here who thinks
agree,
it's
but I don't
normal
know.
to
I'm
not
still,
hate Dodo?
We're still on shaky ground here, Dylan, after your regard to Dylan in the first Doctor video.
People seem to act like I'm Dodo's vanguard or something. It's like, I just don't hate it. What's so bad about that? It's not like I've pissed on the Queen or Roger the Duke of York with a prize-winning leap.
That's exactly what it's like, Dylan.
Anyway, back to the campaigns. I'm going to drag this back again because we don't need to make this the Dodo podcast.
It's not even a podcast, Jacob.
I'm going to actually make one of my live streams called the Dodo Podcast, and you're going to be invited, Jacob. We're just going to talk about Dodo and nothing else.
Speaking of...
Alright, who after Ben and Polly now, Brian?
Jamie. We're going with Jamie.
Jamie, what a guy.
James Robert McClellan.
Let's just be frank. Jamie would not work if it weren't for Fraser Hines and Patrick Troughton just being such good friends.
Oh,
yeah.
Fraser Hines was a bit of a prankster.
Well, we all know that.
Fraser Hines is like the reason that Jamie works so well as a character, though. Like, I think that Jamie almost wouldn't be nearly as good as he is.
Well, I mean, the writing for him's there from the Faceless ones onwards, but yeah, Fraser Hines helps a ton.
Okay.
I mean, it's also really, really fun just to see them interact because I quite like how Jamie, even though he's traveled with the Doctor, they always still write him as sort of like he kind of gets the future and technology, but also he doesn't.
Like every time he has a grasp on it, it's just like something completely new is thrown his way.
For example, the Seeds of Death. It's like, are we sure we want to send these 3 unmanned people in this, untrained people into space? It's like, yeah. Well, we're 2. And it's like, and then they were like, no, I'm coming. I'm like, and Jamie, it's like, no, Jamie, you don't know what you're doing. It's like, well, do you understand G-Force? It's like, yeah, totally.
The most memorable Jamie moment for me is probably the scene in Tomb of the Cybermen where Victoria mentions something about her skirt being short, and the Doctor says, "Oh no, it's not. Just look at Jamie's." And Jamie goes, "I'll have you know."
Aye. And then they accidentally hold hands on the way inside.
Yeah.
that was
which is another great example of Troughton and Hines's great friendship. Because they did that all themselves. It wasn't like part of the blocking or anything.
Yeah, Morris Barry was probably furious.
I feel like after dealing with Troughton in the moon base, he was just like, God damn it, Patrick.
Although, one thing I will say that's very positive about Jamie is that there's not a single story with Jamie the Second Doctor, barring the Space Pirates, where they don't make it entertaining. Like, for example, The Dominators on paper is an incredibly fucking boring story, but because
it's a bad story, but Jamie and the Doctor,
because Jamie and the Doctor, they make it really fun. Like, I always have a great time watching The Dominators, and
I love their scenes.
Would not be that way with any other Doctor companion.
I think for me, Jamie doesn't really shine until Evil of the Daleks.
He shines in the Faceless ones.
Yeah, he's great in that one.
I just feel like in the Faceless.
That is
also,
true. He's good in Faceless
Jamie's
ones.
kind of the first ladies' man companion, isn't he?
But Faceless ones isn't even that good.
Faceless ones is great.
Well, Faceless ones starts
like
absolutely brilliantly and just has a really limp ending. That's the only
It'd
issue.
be much better if we actually... it's one of those things where it's like it would be much better if we could actually see it.
Well, it was much better if like there was actual. Like, I feel like that's one of those scripts where they thought of, you know, the setup before actually the reasons why this was being set up.
Yeah.
Because the explanation is just crap. It doesn't really explain why they're doing it.
I was kind of disappointed we didn't get to see any more of the chameleon's regular form.
And also, the Doctor kind of lets them off a bit lightly for kidnapping and, you know, and imprisoning thousands of young people. It's like, oh, it's okay because your planet blew up.
Well, it was a Malcolm Polk script, and he was a communist, so.
And when Jamie leaves the Doctor,
actually, he'd actually wasn't a communist by then. He left the Communist Party because of the Hungarian Rebellion in 1956. There you go.
Way to kill it, man.
And then when Jamie leaves the Doctor in War Games.
Very sad.
It's not even just Jamie, but it's also Zoe leaving that just tears me up, because it's like, by the time Jamie and Zoe comes around, that they just hit that.
Like,
I will defend.
Sorry. Shut up.
I will defend Deborah Watling as Victoria, but Jamie, Zoe, and the Doctor is just one of those power teams where it's like, yeah, we're just having so much fun, and it's gonna be amazing.
What I love about like Zoe's like after she leaves the Doctor, that scene, the scene where like she loses her memory at the end of the War Games, it's sad and all, but I think like Jamie's is like more. It's more uplifting because you see like that Jamie just goes back to doing what he does, and Jamie's back into that character from the others. It's nice to see. I think his is a bit more. Yeah,
but the thing is,
a smile on my face.
I think it's sadder with Zoe because the reason why she joined the TARDIS to begin with was to kind of explore her emotions. What?
We'll get to her.
Oh, we can't talk about her yet. Can we move on to Victoria? Because
yes, let's move on to Victoria now.
Oh, you're such a killjoy, Brian.
Yeah, well, we did do a Happiness Patrol podcast.
Happiness Patrol is very good.
It is.
Oh, right, I get the joke now.
Very good, Dylan.
I missed the joke. Ignored it.
Well, Brian, we aren't going to explain it to you.
I'll just listen to it again.
Anyway, Victoria now?
Victoria!
She's such a nice character.
I've got one thing to say about Victoria. Captain Hopper!
I really want Fury from the Deep to be found just so we can see the Jamie Victoria kiss.
Is it on the lips? Is it on the cheek?
I don't know.
Full on French kiss? Who knows?
The world may never know.
It's very true.
Because someone decided, oh, well, we were told to stop burning these copies, but here's one more to the fire.
But Jacob, if they ever animated Fury from the Deep, they would make it on the lips.
They better go for a full-on kiss, I mean, Jamie's
I don't want it animated. I want to see the live action, just because I want, just from the...
Well, that's never going to happen.
Never say never. It could happen.
Well, I mean, they can't even reenact it anymore.
I have given up all hope on lost episodes being found at this point.
Well, then you're being a bit naive there, because there's a good chance that something will turn up. It doesn't mean it'll be much. I have a feeling
that there's going to be some in people's collections as some
I doubt it's going to be from. I doubt there's going to be many from TV stations, but it's very likely we'll get some from collectors, especially. And I feel like we may have.
I feel like at least Web 3. We know Web 3 is.
Well, we know Web. Well, I mean, Phil Morris knows. At least he hinted at knowing quite heavily. I think.
I feel like Web. Although part of me wants to be like, can we just get Ian Levine to be less active, because I have a feeling that Ian Levine might be causing problems too, just because I heard he got really annoyed at Phil Morris for finding
he had an argument with his wife, Phil Morris's wife, on Twitter, and was very, very rude.
Why did he have an argument?
Well, because he was salty that that Phil Morris found like the best haul in years and years and years.
Well, it was also because he had found
and Ian Levine wasn't able to claim it.
Well,
Yeah,
Ian
Levine
Levine is just a
episode 6
total
of Enemy of the
dipshit,
World, hasn't he?
okay?
Yeah, he found episode 6, but the print of episode 6 was of lesser quality than the Nigerian prints that Phil Morris found.
Although Ian Levine's rant about Enemy of the World and Web of Fear isn't as good as his rant when he found out Shadow was being animated.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because he spent thousands of pounds on his own personal copy, only to have a few years later the BBC make a completely superior one in every way.
And it is so much better. The only
I
thing
haven't
that the
seen
Levine
it.
version has.
I'm apprehensive still.
Ian
Well, you
Levine's
shouldn't say
just
it's
a
the best
jackass,
animation.
okay? I'm gonna...
The only thing the Levine version has over the official version is that it's in 6 parts.
Yeah, that's
That's
true.
Yeah, because isn't the animated one done like as a movie, right?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, but that kind of works. That kind of even works because originally J&T wanted to do it as like a special 2-hour-long Christmas special after it had been cut down. Like
Wait,
after-
J&T? Wouldn't you mean?
No,
Grim
I mean
Fangs?
J&T. When he was given producer, he one of his first things he wanted to try to revive Shada because he knew it was a good script.
All right, so are we still talking about Victoria?
Yeah,
No.
we'll probably get back to that.
We've got off-piste. Brian, you need to control us more.
Okay. I
It's all
try,
Brian's.
but you keep talking anyway,
Yeah.
so what am I to do?
Yeah, you're a weakling, Brian. I would have stopped this if this was mine.
All right, but anyway, Deborah Watling is Victoria.
You can just cut this
Great.
part out.
No, don't
keep
cut it out.
I love
Yeah, keep-
Victoria.
there's less-
Victoria,
I really like-
Victoria.
I don't know. I really like Victoria. I think she's just really sweet, and I like the way she's written because she's one of the more innocent companions. You know, like she's not like another feisty female. You know, and not that I have anything against those companions. I just think that the
They're
step
just overused a lot.
kinder heart, you know, to Victoria was really nice.
She
It's
does
good to
have
have
a
a rage.
really, really annoying scream, though.
And her character starts and ends really strong too.
Yeah.
With,
I feel like now that we have Enemy in Death, like we get a bigger picture of who she was. Because before that, we really only had Tomb. And in Tomb,
And Tomb's not a best
she-
script for her.
no, it's not. She's great in it, but it's not the best. We did technically have Ice Warriors, but that was a VHS that not many people got because it was later in the run. But yeah. So
You know, I like Victoria. I think she's got a very strong character, which, you know, the writing for a character really doesn't get enough credit, I feel. But, you know, even though I like a character, I don't really enjoy it to the extent, you know, I don't enjoy it for as good as she is, if you get what I mean. Because I just think it's a bit odd they have a companion in a time-traveling science fiction show who hates all of the traveling, you know?
I like her ending. 'cause
Tegan!
it's-
Well, yeah, but I actively dislike Tegan.
I think Victoria is actually worse because a lot of it's more like she's sick of traveling and getting into trouble.
Tegan just wants to get to Heathrow.
but then I feel like Tegan's character is fixed after season 19.
No, Tegan's character is literally just Heathrow.
Like Tegan as a character is Heathrow.
Exactly.
She is an airport.
Auntie Vanessa!
Yeah, but she's an airport where only planes leave.
Wait, do planes only leave Heathrow? Do they not?
Anyway,
Yeah, they just rise up out of the ground.
Anyway.
See, that's how you do it. Good job, Brian.
so yeah, Victoria's a pretty
Well
great
handled, Brian.
companion.
Well handled.
Let's move on to Zoe.
This is
Zoe!
AKA one of my first Classic Who companions and one of my favorites because Wendy Padbury is just hilarious in the role.
Also thicker than your mom.
You've never seen my mother.
Yeah, Brian. you've never
But I
seen-
mean, like, are we forgetting that Brian's probably right, though?
Awkward
not
silence.
comment.
I like it.
It's good.
I will not
It's because
comment.
you're talking about our mother's backsides. That's why.
I'd rather not look at that.
Yeah, same. But anyway, the thing about Zoe that I quite like a lot, which I think goes underrated, is how good her entrance is. Because, I mean, it's a David Whittaker story, and he's one of Doctor Who's best
Well,
character writers. And he gives a very good background, a very
Real in
good
Space is
motive.
bad.
It gives her a very good motive to go on the TARDIS, and I feel like a lot of people don't really realize that. And I never see anybody talking about how good the background and motives are for Zoe. Like the same with Vicky, because David Whittaker does these companion episodes really well. He always makes it very a very strong reason for the companions actually being in the TARDIS. I love him for it. It's a very good script.
I feel that
makes Zoe a very good character.
I feel that Zoe contrasts Jamie very well, and I like how she's almost on an equal level of intelligence as the Doctor.
I really like that about Zoe, but at the same time, like, if it weren't for a few small character, like, personality differences, she's pretty much Vicky in space.
No, she's not like Vicky.
I don't know, I feel like as you said, like, the motives are very similar.
No,
Vicky's
I don't think
a bit more optimistic and childish than Zoe.
If you think that Zoe is like Vicky, you don't understand Vicky's character, really.
Look,
No, but I do say that I think Zoe was the only Troughton companion to really match the rapport between Troughton and Hines.
Yeah.
Like, let's be honest. Like, watch The Seeds of Death. Like,
yeah, she definitely got into that trio very well. I mean, sorry, she made the duo a trio in season 6.
She made it work.
I'd even say better than Victoria made it work.
But yeah, definitely by far. I mean, like, obviously they got in real life, and they're all good actors. But
I love one of the cliffhangers
so.
to Seeds of Death, where like the resolution where where the Doctor Zoe opens the door and the Doctor comes in with the phone filing behind, and she just breaks character.
And I have to say, but I should have said this earlier, but I met Deborah Watling, and she's a very, very, very. She was a very, very, very nice lady. It's a shame she's gone.
You totally just stopped this dead in its tracks. Because you didn't bring this up during the Victoria discussion.
Yeah,
well done, killing the mood.
Yeah, thanks. I was going on about how hilarious it is when Wendy Padbury breaks character like that one time because you're playing around.
And now it's ruined.
Yeah.
And they're like, speaking of which, Deborah Watling's dead.
Yeah, so now literally every time you watch The Seeds of Death from now on, when you see that scene, you'll stop laughing. You'll just think of the fact that Deborah Watling is dead. Brian's ruined it for you.
I'm sorry.
I think that brings us to our next segment because I am done.
Who put Jacob in charge?
Wow.
He's just pissed that I killed the mood with my sadness about Deborah Watling
Joey
being
in charge
dead.
because he doesn't want to be in charge, and that's.
Oh, great! Hi, I'm in charge now. We're gonna move on to our next section. What is our next section, Brian?
Our next section is the best and worst stories from each season.
Ooh.
Hot.
So, let's
season 4 is one creamy bastard. You gotta say.
Debatable, but let's not debate that right now.
The weakest story is, well, very, very entertaining. Underwater Menace.
Oh yeah, it's Underwater Menace.
It's Underwater.
Well, I mean, it depends if you're asking for what I think is the worst story or what is my least favorite.
Worst.
Well, no, but are you asking for my opinion or
your
what
opinion?
I think it actually is?
Just tell us both, Dylan.
Right. Well, the worst story is obviously the Underwater Menace. Nobody can deny that. But my least favorite is the Smugglers. Is because at least with Underwater Menace,
we included that in the Hartnell discussion.
We already talked about Hartnell.
You said season 4.
Well,
yeah,
we're saying Troughton season 4.
Well, you need to specify that.
God damn it, Dylan!
Yeah, Brian, you actually probably should have specified that. I'm with Dylan on this one.
Exactly.
Piss off, Jacob.
Right, yeah, oh yeah, the Underwater Menace then. Easy.
The best is Evil of the Daleks. Don't care what you say, Dylan, your opinion is wrong.
Well, my opinion is right, you just choose to be wrong.
See, but I won that debate, Dylan.
Well, yeah, you only won that debate by one man's incorrect vote.
But Brian's vote is the correct vote, because he made me win.
He made you win. I remember that debate.
Yeah, well, Joey,
here's the thing.
People like Coldplay and voted for the Nazis. You can't trust people.
Isn't that a Peep Show quote?
Yes, it is.
I've never seen Peep Show. Anyway, no. If I may, I will say that I'm going to add in a most underrated, also because Macro Terror for life. because
Macroterra.
Same.
I love Macroterra.
Yeah, it's great. But also, I'd actually put Power and Evil as a tie, only because I genuinely can't decide which is better. I like them both equally for very different reasons.
Power is better. Evil would be as good if the plot made more sense.
Nope. Evil is better. Go check out my channel. You'll see how I clearly won the debate.
The plot is incorrect. Like, it doesn't actually work. Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, well, guess what, Dylan?
Shut up, Dylan!
Because Deborah Watling is dead.
If you want to see, you can go and watch my Season 4 review where I articulate why Evil of the Daleks' plot doesn't quite make sense.
Dylan.
Right, shall we then move on to Season 5?
Wait a minute, I didn't get to say my
Brian
thing.
is bloody opinion. It's his channel. We invite you on.
What the hell do you think this is, Jacob?
biased.
Your channel? No, it's my
No.
fucking channel. I get to go now. Jesus Christ.
Just because you have one eye, you're allowed to skip to a two eyes. It's wrong.
Actually, that reminds me, Brian, are we still recording?
Yeah, we're still... Fuck you! Anyway,
Sorry, Jake.
Okay, so season
I'm a
5
horrible
now.
person.
Okay, worst story season 5 Abominable Snowman.
Anyway, my favorite story from Season 4 is no longer Evil of the Daleks. It's now Macroterror. For good
Good.
reason.
That's good, because that means Joey doesn't win.
Yeah, well, if you had to choose between Power and Evil, though, Brian, what would it be?
I'd still choose Evil over Power, but...
I mean, you don't like the Crusades, so your opinion's not worth right now.
Oh, that's true.
So... Yeah,
Are you
best
right,
is
Jacob?
definitely
You sound like you're
Macroterror.
choking.
My favorite is definitely Macroterror.
Fine.
And, my least favorite
Choking
is...
pills.
My least favorite is Underwater Menace, because it actually made me stop dead in the tracks of my marathon.
Yeah, but Brian, you haven't watched the YouTube CGI version. I have. That is what stops you dead in your tracks.
Who else was it? Was it Harry? Jerry.
Jerry.
You, me, and Harry just experienced that for the first time together, and it was the best thing.
Wait, can someone send a link to that? I want to see the cringe.
Religious. Just show an image of it right now, future Brian, on the screen.
Yeah, future Brian.
I know what you're talking about. I've never actually
Also,
watched
Future
any of
Brian
those
is
terrible-looking
in the
CGI
file,
things,
have
but I
interrupted.
know what you're
Because the
talking
episode
about.
4 one opens with the cliffhanger part 3, so you get to see terrible CGI Zaroff say nothing in the world can stop me.
And it looks like, you ever see the channel Petrini that does the really bad SpongeBob CGI animations? It looks like one of those.
No, but I've seen the Galaxy 4 thing that I think you're talking about.
Anyway, yeah, let's move on from terrible CGI then.
Oh,
Season 5, which is
fuck's
this
sake.
is tough.
One of the
That's
best
fun.
seasons.
Season 5.
Worst story I would say is Abominable Snowman.
I've got to agree. Most people go for Wheel in Space, but
I'd go for Wheel in Space just because I found myself more bored with Wheel in Space.
The thing about Wheel in
Space. I think Wheel in Space is fun.
The thing about Wheel in Space is, while, yeah, it is a bit shit in the middle, episodes 1, 2, and 6 are really good. And throughout, the characters are really good. Whereas
I also
Abominable
quite like
Snowman-
Abominable Snowman.
Abominable
So
Snowman is a bit meandering, and the characters aren't really anything special, so I'm definitely
I was
definitely
bored to
going for it.
tears.
No,
but-
sorry, definitely go
what do we think is the best story of the season?
Wait!
Well,
Jesus Christ!
This is racism. This is racism.
God,
Ableism.
not letting me get a
Dylan.
word in my own damn
Ableism.
podcast.
Reverse ableism.
Okay, so Brian, what is your least favorite story of season
Jesus.
5?
Well, before I was rudely interrupted by Jacob,
You're welcome.
I was gonna say, I agree with you guys. It's the Abominable Snowman.
It's Wheel in Space.
Yeah.
No.
You lose, Jacob. Wheel in
Alright,
Space.
let's
is
all
actually
discriminate
good.
against Jacob because Jacob's wrong.
Alright, best story.
Web of Fear.
Fury from the Deep.
You go, Brian. I'll go last.
Enemy of the World.
Oh, we got quite a range here. Now, I know objectively, this isn't the best of season 5,
no.
but Tomb of the Cybermen means
Wow,
so-
What is
all
wrong
had
with
fucking
you?
different ends.
I mean,
I think that's just a testament to how good the season is.
yeah,
That
but
we all go with a different one.
just Tomb of the Cybermen means a lot to me, you know? It's just an
Notice
episode
how
that'll
nobody
always
said
cheer me up.
Fury
It's the
from
one
the
I've
Deep,
watched the
though.
most, and it's just magical. There's
Okay.
nothing like Tomb of the
I
Cybermen.
think we do need to call out something though, considering we've mentioned every season 5 story at this point except the Ice Warriors.
The Ice Warriors
The Ice
is
Warriors
great.
is The Ice Warriors is good, but it's not exactly the most. It doesn't
Yeah.
stick out in your mind.
It's just
you know?
that in between in quality story, I think.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's sandwiched in between Tomb of the Cybermen on one side, then Enemy of the World and the Web of Fear and Fury from the Deep on the other side. Yes, it's going to get forgotten.
But also Abominable Snowman is right before it, so like it kind of raises the quality of Ice Warriors a bit.
I also quite like that Ice Warriors also mostly exists.
That's fair.
Yeah, I do like that about the Ice Warriors.
And
It's
hey, guys,
rather good.
since we're on
Not-
season 5, I think I should mention, in case I didn't already, Deborah Watling's dead.
For fuck's sake.
You're never gonna let that go, are you?
Nope.
Do you know who else is dead?
Who?
Patrick Troughton.
Yeah, he's been
but,
dead
like-
for a while.
Yeah, Deborah Watling's still
Deborah
still an
Watling's more
open wound, man.
Shall we move on to season 6?
There's a channel I watch where they've still got Rip Deborah Watling as their profile picture.
What?
I think I know which channel
They're,
you're
they're,
talking
they're not getting over it, clearly.
I'm not getting over it either, because that woman was a lovely woman.
You know who else? You know what else?
It was a lovely
I
one.
don't think because
Right, her note too, 20.
Trevor Baxter's dead.
Anyway, can we stop talking about dead people, unless, you know, they died in a fun way?
What's the fun way, Dylan?
Jumping out of a helicopter into a volcano riding a shark?
Alright, shall we move on, Brian? This is your
Season
podcast.
Well,
six.
Patron died of a heart attack at a diner in America, so...
Let's
not
move
very
on to
exciting.
season 6.
Well, I don't know. Well, it's kind of interesting to me because of the backstory leading
Alright,
up to it, in that...
Who wants
his-
to do...
Joey, do you want to do the death podcast another time? I'll do the death,
Oh, yeah,
the death podcast with you.
I will
but
gladly do
save
that.
it.
Jesus
Right,
Christ.
shall we move on to season 6?
Season 6.
This is my least favorite... I think this is my least favorite Troughton season, so I really don't hold it in too high of a regard, other than like 3 stories.
Oh, shit! I just
what?
remembered
Yeah,
what
you're
we
not
forgot to
recording.
do.
What?
Got a record.
No. no, don't worry. We
I was
don't
about to
record
say,
the-
like, I swear, Brian, if you...
Oh no, the recorder
Well,
crashed
that's
and
what
my
you said.
microphone's broken. No,
You do realise that we can always do this thing after season 6, you know,
Yeah.
without having to
Yeah,
interrupt
yeah.
the flow of the entire thing.
anyway, back to season 6.
Okay, we can all agree the worst story of season 6 is the Space Pirates.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody's going to argue.
Though
that.
I'm a bit
Apart
annoyed at the Crotons, not for the Crotons, but for Time Worm Apocalypse, which is literally a remake of the Crotons without the Crotons.
Oh yeah,
without
Jacob's
David
working
Lamont.
on adapting Time Worm
Jacob,
Apocalypse.
right now is not the best time for you to start wanking all over the VNAs.
We can have
So yeah,
the
Space
VNA
Pirates the
wank
worst.
podcast as
Best
well.
war games.
Best, that's tough because I think I tie War Games and Invasion. That's just more of I can't decide which is better because I love them both.
I'm just
I mean-
gonna go with Invasion because I feel like there are a couple episodes in War Games that really drag on.
Nah,
I-
the war games is the best.
I fucking love the Invasion, but I'm sorry, the War Games is the clear winner here.
The Invasion isn't even that good, though.
Oh no, fuck off, Joey. The Invasion's brilliant, but
Joe,
the
you-
War
Joe,
Games
you
is
like
just even
Warriors
more
of the
brilliant.
Sea.
Look, the
Yeah,
Invasion...
you like Warriors of the Deep,
Look,
so
the Invasion is good.
I said the
Okay,
exact
you know,
same
fine, we're
thing
doing this right now,
earlier.
Brian. Okay, fine, Brian. You started this earlier. Now we're doing this. Warriors of the Deep is a good story. Watch podcast of episode 1. You will see my fucking
I really hope the file doesn't crash on this one because it's so good.
so there. Fuck. All right. Invasion isn't even that good. Kevin Stoney is great. Yeah, whatever.
Douglas
But the Cybermen are
Camfield.
shit, and most of the story tracks.
Is a good story, so I wouldn't pay him heed.
Douglas Camfield. But
So
that is all.
that's season 6 done then?
Yes.
You forgot about season 6B, Brian.
No, shut up, Dylan.
Actually, season 6B is no longer canon because Big Finish did the black hole.
Yeah, I know. I actually subscribe to the black hole theory myself.
I think that either are they're equally as valid because
I know. I don't like the
time
idea
travel.
of season 6B.
I hate season 6B. Like since the moment I was told about it, I was just like, I do not want to
I
subscribe.
don't hate
to that
it, but but here's the thing: Big Finish have also done stories set in season 6B. One of them being a companion chronicle, the first companion chronicle to feature Jamie as the
Yeah, but
narrator.
that Manny Chronicles shite, so who cares?
So it just undid anything season 6B. Wow. Ooh, Kevin! Doctor
So was that
is the
season
best
6, right?
place where things get erased constantly.
Troughton here is good for erasing things.
Anyway,
Maybe
so
itself.
because I forgot to do it earlier when we were talking about the characters, we've got to talk about what I would consider the main villain of the Troughton era, the Cyberman.
The Master.
What?
Of the Land of Fiction?
Yes, that
okay.
one.
Cybermen. They're good. I like them.
Kit Pedler was.
I mean, they really shine in the moon base and tomb, but
I think I will actually defend a lot of their stuff in Wheel in Space, and even the Invasion of Wheel in Space, because it's sort of playing. There's this idea that it sort of does the Revenge of the Cybermen that they're playing out. They're trying to rebuild their numbers without doing like an actual Revenge of the Cybermen thing.
I like the Wheel in Space and I love the Invasion, but you've got to admit they are a bit of a spare part in both those stories.
yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But in Tomb, they're great fun.
Because I like the Cybermen so much, and I just hate how they're wasted in those stories.
In
Well,
Tomb,
in Invasion, I think Tobias Vaughn is enough of an interesting parallel to give you interesting to redeem the Cybermen in that story, of just sort of having an interesting just playing with interesting ideas of like someone who's half converted.
Okay, but really, if we're going down to it, what is the better Kevin Stoney story? Dalek's Master Plan or The Invasion?
is not as good as the Invasion.
What? No.
By far.
I've got to go with Invasion on this
The
one.
Invasion is consistent, whereas the Dalek's Master Plan
way better
dips
than the
really
Invasion.
badly in the middle.
Remember,
Invasion
Joey
tracks-
doesn't like
Joey.
the Invasion.
Joey, if Dalek's Master Plan was just parts 1 to 5 in episode 12, it would be better by far. But since it's got that massive bit
Also,
in the
Kevin
middle where it's
Stoney's
a bit
not in
crap,
blackface in the Invasion.
he wasn't in blackface in the Dalek's Master Plan.
Actually, did you guys know there are 3 Kevin Stoney stories?
He's
He's in Revenge of the
We forget
Cybermen.
about Revenge of the Cybermen, Brian. We forget about Revenge of the Cybermen. Not that I think it's bad, but it wastes Kevin Stoney just, like, a lot.
Yeah.
That is true.
Oh, so we touched on best Big Finish stories for the Second Doctor.
Oh my god.
We did it for Hartnell. Why can't we do it for Troughton?
Well, no,
Yeah,
no,
well,
I
we're
just
just
I really knew
Well,
that you were-
Jacob, the reason why we're so apprehensive because we're not looking forward to hearing you jerk off Lords of the Red Planet for 5 fucking minutes.
5 long-ass minutes of just Lords of the Red Planet wanking.
Right, go on, just get it over
I mean,
with, Jacob.
come on.
Be
Go on,
sick,
Jacob,
Red
just
Brian.
Planet
Jacob
is
take the
great.
floor
I
with
was
this
going to say
edition.
Prison in Space is an underrated gem.
Yeah, well, you just like, Jamie spanking Zoe. That's the only reason.
No, I just like because it's an
Wait a
absurd
minute.
satire.
Jamie actually spanks Zoe in that?
Yeah.
It
I watched
brings
Prison in
it-
Space for the plot.
Well,
it's an absurdist satire, and it's all hilarious. Also, Queen of Time is great.
Queen of
the
Time's great.
The Rose Mariners.
It's
Why
good.
does no one talk about that one? That one's really good. It also it's got David
It's
Warner
not
in it.
brilliant, but it's good.
It's good. I found it really entertaining.
my mind's
I
just...
love Donald Tosh, but I didn't think that was his best work. I much preferred his work on The Master.
My mind's
else
just
is-
blowing up over the fact that Jamie actually smacked Zoe on the ass.
It was originally meant to be the Doctor.
Holy
Why did
fuck!
What?
I'm glad they changed that from the original script because
I can't believe you're just finding this out. This is just like normal to me.
Yeah, this is a thing. What else? What else? Gosh,
Forsaken's really good. I like Forsaken.
Oh, the Forsaken's lovely.
I haven't listened to that.
I mean,
it's actually quite
I've been
scary.
meaning to.
Yeah. For the
I really like the
Forsaken's actually really good. The only complaint I have with the Forsaken, and I think it's a complaint everyone has, is that the Ben and his dad.
Yeah, it's not used at all. It's just
it's just like
Dad's here, and we're not going to do anything with it.
Fun fact: this guy's his dad.
It's a Justin Richards script. What do you expect?
I mean, there's always, like, the thing about Justin Richards is he writes such good stories, but there's always one major flaw. It's the only story I've heard of his where it isn't like that is the Blake 7 episode he wrote called Fractures, which is probably one of the best Blake 7 Big Finish have done.
If I may also, the Salation Gambit, and House of Cards are two very fun stories, but I mean, nothing stand out. But
is Francis Urquhart in the House of Cards? If so, I'm not interested.
Who?
Francis Urquhart.
Oh, I get it. Sorry. No,
Kevin Spacey?
No. We're talking about British House of Cards, not your shite and yank one. It's nowhere near as good.
I've never seen either, so yeah, I can't comment.
Watch the British one. The British one's really bloody good.
Well, I think it would
House
work
of Cards
better for me
it's
to
a time
watch.
travel. It's what if people use time travel to cheat at a casino? It's hilarious.
Time travel casino? Are we talking about a Troughton era Big Finish story, or are we talking about the Wormery?
No, the Wormery is time travel cabaret.
Is it?
House of Cards is like it's a casino, cheating at a casino by using time travel, and it's hilarious.
Oh, okay.
Anyway, my favourite Troughton Big Finish stories, I'm going to have to say my favourite is probably The Edge, which it's quite a random one, really, because it's like the last story. It's the last story in the first volume of the Second Doctor Companion Chronicles box set, and it's a really bloody good story for Jamie, a very good character piece. I really enjoyed it.
It's okay.
Oh, I loved it. I loved it.
I
also
really
really like
Jacob.
Black Hole.
I think I got the Edge really overhyped for me before I listened to it, and I was just kind of let down by it.
All right, Jacob.
Well, I suppose my hopes were quite low because the rest of the set wasn't great. So,
Well, Mouthless Dead was good. I really liked Mouthless Dead.
yeah, that was all right, and then the Story of Extinction was shit.
Oh god, I hated Story of Extinction.
All right, Jacob.
I haven't finished, Brian.
God damn it!
Stop being too racist.
So
Anyway,
Stop being racist.
It's Jacob for like telling Brian what to do on his channel. Yet you're gonna do that shit.
well, yeah, I'm different because.
Well,
I'm
yeah,
the best.
Dylan's different. Jacob is lesser than Dylan.
Exactly, he's a lesser being because he has one less. I'm joking, Jacob. I'm joking.
Stop!
I'm sorry, Jacob. I'm sorry. I'm such a terrible person. Anyway, what was it? I forgot what I was saying now. Thanks a lot, Brian.
Anyway, Jacob, since you just got
I remember
insulted
now.
like that, you have permission
Black
to
Hole-
wank
good
over
story.
Lords of the Red
It
Planet
has
now.
the meddling monkey.
Listen, I think I've done enough wanking over Lords of the Red Planet. It's amazing. Michael Troughton's great. Charlie Hayes is great. Fraser Hines is great. I can't remember who else is in it. Nick Briggs is actually really good in it. And I like the ideas it deals with. And yeah, listen to it if you haven't already.
There we go.
I think that's the most restrained you've ever been talking about Lords of the Red Planet.
I think he was even less restrained on the Hartnell podcast thing we did.
So
I think
guys, did I
someone
mention
brought
Deborah
up
Watley's-
Lords of the Red Planet, and he just wanked over it.
Shall I give my thoughts on Lords of the Red Planet then? Since, I'm not going to explode with semen.
Yes, go ahead.
So,
Dylan.
right. So I think Lords of the Red Planet is a very good story. It's not perfect. Maybe goes on a little bit long, but I still thoroughly enjoyed it. Very good
Alright,
story.
I think
A bit similar to Genesis of the Daleks, but the idea was before Genesis of the Daleks, so it's okay.
Yeah.
I think that's everything, Brian.
Really? You don't have
Except,
any
of course-
Virgin
except,
Missing
of course-
Adventures or BBC
except, of
books you
course-
want to talk about?
The Dark Path is great, but other than that, Troughton.
Oh, Brian, I've just realised you forgot something.
What did I forget?
Season 6B.
Oh my god. Wait, Brian, actually, wait.
Joey's just had it with us all. We insulted
Right.
Warriors of the
Actually,
Deep
forget
one
something.
too many times today.
What did we forget?
You guys actually did forget something. You forgot to mention that Deborah Walton's.
Bolling has died.
All right, goodbye, everybody.
Wait a minute.
Wait, why is Jacob doing the
Jacob!
outro?
Jacob! No!
Jacob,
It's not your shout.
Jacob, I'm meant to be the one who leaves unexpectedly, not you.
Okay.
I'm the one who starts off the goodbyes. That's how it always works. What are you doing, child? What the fuck? I invite you onto my channel, and you act like you own the place. God,
I mean,
I feel like Arnold River. I'm so angry.
oh, you feel
Just
like
add the
Arnold.
fucking video, Brian.
Brian, calm down. Everything is tickety-boo.
We'll be done with this lickety split.
All right.
That's like your name.
Anyway, so that was the Patrick Troughton era discussion video.
Why am I like this?
Shit. Anyway,
Ugh.
so that's the Patrick era. Fuck.
That's the.
I think we're done here.
Patrick
I didn't know
Troughton era
I didn't know the
discussion
character
video.
from SpongeBob
Thank
was in
you,
Doctor Who.
Dylan, for coming on.
You're welcome, man.
Thank
Sorry for
Joey
derailing your
for making it.
Yeah, sure.
Thank
You know, it's sometimes
Jacob,
nice to
even
get
though you're
defending the
fucking
people.
dead.
I know. I'm
I'm
sorry.
just saying that because he has one eye, Brian.
We're terrible
Sorry.
people.
Sorry about the cuckoo clock, by the way.